Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Reid with Appreciation Financial, and I just thought I'd make this quick video. We've gotten a lot of response and inquiry into the various ads and videos that people are seeing, and so in an effort for me to maximize time, so y'all aren't waiting on me for a response, I just figured I'd record this video and just kind of give you what will probably be maybe a 5 to 10 minute quick high-level 10,000-foot overview on who the heck we are, who I am, what we're doing, and all that fun stuff. And then from there, if you're interested, you can shoot me an email, call, text, whatever, pretty easy communicator, and we can look at what the next steps would be like from there. So hopefully you can all see our screen. Like I said, this is going to be a quick little hitter overview, and let's dig in. So about us, we're an insurance brokerage, but ultimately I love to start with our mantras because everybody has their own idea or perception of what an insurance agent or financial advisor is and does. But at the end of the day, we get paid a ton of money to help a lot of people. We create life-changing wealth for the people we serve, and in turn, we receive that ourselves. And we are a company focused on getting better every day. If you are interested in getting into business for yourself, being an entrepreneur, business owner, whatever you want to call it, that is an inside job, and you better be focused on your own personal and professional development. You can see all the fancy awards. We've been in business 15 years, over 130,000 clients helped in the public educational space, which I'll get into, over 30,000 small businesses served. And what's really cool about this is we're really just getting started. A little bit about myself, because I think it's important to understand who the heck you're listening to. I'm not one to really talk much about myself. But I do think it's important to, understand that, I'm not some armchair quarterback guy. I am in this business, doing this business every day. In fact, I've been in this business since I was 18 years old. I joke about being the only guy that you'll ever meet who grew up wanting to be an insurance agent. But that was just the path I went down. And, it's one of those stories where I just, I stuck with it. I showed up every single day, did my best, learned from my mistakes, continued my progression, and ultimately when you do that for long enough like I do, good things will always happen to you. I think I'm a living testament to that. But I started my journey with appreciation almost 10 years ago. I started actually at an insurance brokerage at 18, and believe it or not, I was literally the first male receptionist at this brokerage, and I got my start answering phones, doing odd jobs, and learning the ropes, and eventually worked my way up to selling insurance, which I did, and paid my way through college. It was the greatest job in the world to have while I was going to college, because I was making a bunch of money at night, going to school during the day, and spending it all on dumb stuff. Great experience, right? But I was with that company for 14 years. I've only had two homes in my 20. What am I? 42. I started 18, so insurance math here, right? I've only had two homes in the 24 years I've been in this business. And as you can see, this is my beautiful family. Sticking to it, discipline, determination, I guess, runs in my blood, because that beautiful girl right there is my high school sweetheart, and those are my kids. And I owe a lot of that to this industry and just how amazing it can be. But what led me to appreciation was a few things. My prior company, I was in a performance-based position as an agency director, building and recruiting teams and working in the lead business and doing all sorts of things for many, many years, and made a lot of money doing that. But I was paid as a W-2 employee. So although I was performance-based, it's kind of funny if you look back, or at least for me when I look back on it. We all get into this industry to make a ton of money and have the freedom and all that fun stuff. And sometimes sometimes we go about it the wrong way, and doing it as a W-2 employee where there was a set ceiling for myself, ultimately ran its course, and it was time for me to go. Okay. And this is a picture of the office that I had. And that picture was taken at midnight when I just said, you know what, I'm done here. It's time to go. And the journey of entrepreneurship and business ownership began that day. And I'm grateful for my former company, because that's where I got my start. I'm grateful for a lot of the people that I met, because this is a wonderful industry. And the reality is, like, firsthand. I know how tough it can be to get started off on the right foot in this business, right? There's a lot going on. I want to share a couple experiences as I started. So this was the very first client that I helped at Appreciation Financial. And this was when I knew we were on the right track. I know her name, but I'm not going to say it on this webinar. But she was a 72-year-old lady working at a continuation school doing daycare for the kids that were going to school there. And this was, again, my very first appointment, or one of my first appointments. And when I met her, she told me that she tried to retire 4 years earlier, but couldn't. Her retirement paperwork and process was rejected multiple times. And I didn't know much about much, but I knew that didn't sound right. And again, not knowing what to do, but knowing that I'm here to help, I'm here to serve, and I'm going to figure it out with her, we ultimately called the state pension system, did a 3-way call, figured some things out. And guys, what we ultimately figured out, she couldn't fill out the paperwork correctly. English was a second language to her, so as you could imagine, filling out the paperwork would be a challenge. Well, I helped her fill out that paperwork, and I literally got her retired on the spot. Now, I didn't really make any money from that because there weren't any, I didn't necessarily help her with a retirement plan or an insurance policy or anything like that, but it didn't matter. That was an incredibly impactful experience because this lady was working for 4 extra years that she didn't have to, right? So at 72, I got her retired right then and there. And I'm like, man, this is something special. I'm in the right place because I wanted to be doing work that was meaningful, that was impactful. I really wanted to position myself as like the advisor, right? My past insurance experiences, which I'll get to, doing mortgage protection and final expense, and you name the lead program, I didn't really get that doing those things, but here I did. And this was my other client. Her name was Anna, and this was a thank you email that I got from her. I know it's kind of blurry. I don't know if you can read this or not, but after doing all the work and getting her all dialed in, she had no clue how her pension was going to work, how her retirement plan was going to work. She had insurance all over the place, knew nothing about it, spending money all over the place for really no apparent reason. Long story short, got her all dialed in, and most importantly, we figured out when she was going to retire, what she needed to do, how it was going to get done, got a plan in place. And to get an email from her that said, wow, that sounds great. It feels so good to have a path being cleared for my retirement and to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and also to know I won't have to work until I drop dead, laugh out loud. And then I highlighted the awesome part, which was it was a win-win kind of day. You see, in that appointment, I made thousands of dollars, and I felt really good about it because I knew I left her in a much better place than when I found her. But to have that reciprocated back, and I met Anna maybe 3 to 4 months into my business, I'm just like, holy smokes, this is it. This is where I need to be. And this is where Appreciation Financial does their focus. And this is where let me go back here. And this is where we do our work. We do a lot of our work in the K through 12 public school systems, helping teachers and staff with their pension, their insurance, and their retirement benefits. And then 10 years later, the rest is history. And I don't show this to you to boast by any means, but as you can see here, I crossed out the names of everybody else. And as you can see, that was my overriding income for 2023. And that was just overrides. That didn't take into consideration any of my personal production or the other businesses I have within this space doing what we do. So it's been a blessing. And I really feel like it's now become my passion and purpose to show other people how to do the same thing. And I know a few things because I lived through it for many years. So if you can learn from me, well, then I'm doing my job, right? I'm giving back to the right place, to the right people. The challenges agents are facing today, right? You got big companies out there that, they want to sell you on their names and their stadiums and their blimps and their training and support. But as soon as it's time to put a business plan together, it kind of falls apart, right? You hear, put together your project 100 or 200, which is your list of friends and family. And although I've sold all my friends and family, I never wanted to be that guy. I wanted them to come to me, right? And the reality is friends and family isn't a business plan. It's a business plan for that company, but not necessarily for you. And then the independent space wants to make you believe that all you need is their next latest and greatest lead program, their high commission products to sell. But as soon as the lead bills come in, The calls are made and the grind begins. You find out pretty quickly the grind and expensiveness, if that's a word, of this business plan doesn't really work. And ultimately, when you're not in control of, when you're dependent on a lead program or an upline or a marketing company, you're really not in control of your business. So for those of you that are licensed, hopefully this is resonating with you, right? Are you tired of that grind? Are you working dead-end lead programs, driving, flying all over the place? The marketing plans, friends and family. Do you actually enjoy your work schedule and what you do? Are you dealing with a ton of no-shows, consistency problems, chargebacks? Do you actually have the support and mentorship you need? I can't tell you how many times I talk to people like, yeah, my upline and mentor is 3,000 miles away, and I never hear from them. They just send me to webinars and stuff like that, which that's no training and mentorship that's going to make somebody successful in this business. But ultimately, do you have a clear plan on how to build a $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million business? You see, most of this industry lives in the employee or the self-employed space. You're either working for a company, or if you are licensed in this industry, the majority of people, 95%, are self-employed, which is good, right? But you're still trading time for money. Still trading time for money. What made Appreciation Financial unique and why I merged my business with them almost 10 years ago is because they were focused on creating business owners. And that is what I wanted to create for myself, was to create a system that was paying me whether I showed up for work today or whether I took a vacation with my family. I had residual and repeat business and sales coming in. I had a system, right? Not only for myself, but now for the team that I serve in the various markets that we work in. So question here, and this is a question where I'm talking to you on the other side of this video. What do we all ultimately want in life? And I'm already 12 minutes in, so I know this is going further, but just hang with me. What do we want? I'm not a mind reader, but I know the answer. We ultimately want freedom in the form of time freedom and financial freedom. Whatever dreams, goals, and aspirations you have, I know for a fact will require some form of time and financial freedom to obtain that. And I think we all deserve it if we know how to work for it and if we're willing to pay the price and make the sacrifices to do that. And unless you've got a rich Uncle Eddie who's going to leave you a big fat inheritance of money, I don't know any other way to create time and financial freedom besides starting a business. And what a great way to be able to start a business in the insurance and financial service space, where literally you're talking about getting licensed for a couple $100 and now you have a license to print money. Okay? And we're moving on here, hopefully. So here's our value proposition and what I feel like our commitment is in this partnership, because I look at this like a partnership, right? If we end up talking, I'm not going to tell you how great you're going to be and how much money you're going to make and how our company is going to solve all your problems. That's for you to figure out. And we'll go through some transparent conversations to figure some of that stuff out. But this is a two-way road. I look at this no different than a marriage, right? Like, what are the expectations on both sides? And if we can agree to those, and if the plan makes sense, then let's partner and let's get to work. I think there's 5 things that are involved that make up a successful business and partnership. Number 1, a product and service that is valuable and that people want and need. And I'm going to cover that in just a second. Actually, that's number 2. Number 3, a system to get in front of people that want and need our help. Prospecting, right, in our business is the name of the game. He or she who's able to see the most people that are qualified each and every week is the person that's going to make the most money. Pretty simple. Doesn't matter if you're selling insurance, cardboard boxes, cars, homes, whatever. Training, support, and mentorship. Legitimate training, support, and mentorship. Being able to work with in the field people that are multiple six-figure earners doing what you want to be doing at a high level, and being able to watch them and ride with them, and more importantly, them being able to watch you and mentor you and provide you the support. Okay? Back office operations, technology, infrastructure, resources. In my opinion, until somebody's making 20, 30 grand a month with us, they don't need to hire an admin or pay for anything else. Everything that comes through Appreciation with our back office, our admin support, technology, infrastructure, will take care of you. And then this is in reverse and backwards, and I kind of already touched on this, but in my opinion, the number one thing is you got to have a personal and professional development plan. I don't know if any other company has this within our industry, but we have a personal development coach. And when somebody comes aboard our company, you get enrolled into his program. We're big believers in mentorship. We're big believers in professional and personal development. We encourage people all the time for various courses and things that we feel would be impactful, because at the end of the day, becoming a successful business owner and entrepreneur is 100% an inside job. I talk to too many people that have just gotten beat up by this industry, and they bring in their baggage into my business, where it's like, well, I got burned by this company and this happened and that happened. And sure, some of those things might have happened, but if we can't change our mindset around this stuff, then we're going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy that's just going to continue to repeat itself. I've seen it way too much, right? So that's why I kind of went backwards, and that's why this is number one, and really what we focus on. Who do we serve? We serve teachers and staff members. So in areas across the country, we have access through third-party contract relationships to be able to be on campus to work with teachers and staff and help them with their pension, their retirement, and their insurance benefits. And the big thing to this is it solves the biggest challenge in our industry, which is attracting qualified prospects. You have 80 to 100 staff members on one campus, and we can go in there and through a variety of our different marketing events, we can set 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 appointments in a single event, all on school campus. So I'll give you a quick story. The last time I was actually in a school was in Dallas, Texas, and we ran an event. We had a luncheon at an elementary school and a middle school. And in those two luncheons, we preset 73 appointments over the following 2 weeks to sit down with teachers and staff and go through their pension, their retirement, and their insurance benefits. Unless somebody can show me a better marketing plan that will get you in front of that many people in a short amount of time, and mind you, all on school campus, so I'm not driving all over God's green earth running these appointments. I'm meeting with these teachers and staff in the mornings, the prep periods, the lunch periods, the after school appointments. We can literally see 8 to 10 to 12 people on a tight schedule in a 8 to 3 o'clock work hour, right? Really good working hours, really efficient business model, and highly referable business model. Because when we are helping teachers and staff with their biggest problems, which is retirement, I lived in the world of insurance. Insurance is sold. We've kind of flipped the hat and turned into the advisor, because show me a person who doesn't want to retire comfortably. Show me a person who's not concerned with, man, am I going to have to work in my 70s and 80s and work forever, right? And if you really think about it, the problems that we're solving, they're going to receive the tangible event at the end of the day too, right? So you have more receptive people, but ultimately we're solving bigger problems, and thus we're getting paid more. We also broke into the small business owner space a couple years ago, and literally in 3 years, we've helped over 30,000 small businesses with the employee retention tax credit, but there's various other credits that are out there for business owners. There's alternative and incentive programs for one of the biggest pain points that we're now addressing, which is healthcare, executive benefits. We're big on tax-free alternatives, premium finance, life insurance, do a lot of really cool things in the business owner space. And ultimately, we're helping middle market American families, because this is who we serve and this is who we are. Let's talk about income, not ifcome. This is cash flow revenue deposited into our agents' bank accounts. This isn't production where, hey, I produced this much, but how much actually went paid. This isn't, hey, look at how much I produced, but don't mind the $300,000 in marketing expenses I paid and all these chargebacks and this and that. Our persistency is over 90% because people don't cancel on a solution-based sale, especially when it comes to their retirement. They're putting money away for their retirement and future, right? But these are income numbers for 2023. Some pretty fantastic income numbers if you ask me. And a lot of this turns into residual income because the retirement plans, which we do in the form of indexed annuities, a lot of our insurance comes in the form of IULs. We do term insurance, but a lot of it's IULs, which, as you know, pays renewals. But all of this stuff is set up for repeat business every 5 to 7 to 10 years. and or it's paying a renewal each and every month. They're paying their retirement premiums and contributions, right? Longer you're with us, the compound effect, the bigger it grows. At Appreciation, we've got multiple different career paths. I mean, we got agents that have been with us making $500,000 just serving teachers and staff, and they're loving it, having a blast doing it. For people that want to go down the road, the route of advisor and get securities license, we have our own RIA to do that, and that creates a whole new residual income stream through charging a fee for managing assets under management. And we've got a phenomenal registered investment advisory company for people to do that. And then we're looking for builders out here, right? Like building teams and organizations around our markets and around our system. I told you about Dallas, Texas, right? It's a big market. You wouldn't believe it, but there's 4,500 public schools in greater DFW. We can fit probably 5 Appreciation Financials inside of Dallas and still not even scratch the surface. So we really need people, and good quality people at that. We have people now working directly in the small business space. So working with small businesses in a variety of different capacities, like I just talked about. And then we also have affiliate programs. So these are part-time people that might be referral sources, influencers, networking affiliates that can ultimately leverage their networks through kind of our wheel of opportunity of various products and services that we have that can create win-win-win relationships. The activity incentive plan and business incentive plan. So on top of paying out commissions and on top on paying out overrides, we've got an activity incentive plan for new agents that are getting started in the business. And we created this about 6 months ago, and it's a legitimate way for somebody to put $250 to $500 a week into their bank account up front while they're building up their pipeline and building up their business by doing the revenue generating activities they should already be doing anyways. This is Appreciation, putting our best foot forward to help that new agent or that new advisor get their business started. We have a business incentive plan, which is a way to earn substantially more overrides on your team by doing the leadership and management activities necessary for success with a new agent anyways. And also there's a way to earn up to $10,000 for opening an office and expanding the Appreciation financial footprint, right? So there's money on top of money through bonuses and stuff like that, but some really cool programs at play. And then lastly, what to do next? I'm sure we'll probably have a conversation, but above and beyond that, when somebody's ready to go, we're going to get registered. Appreciation charges a couple $100 to join to take care of some basic onboarding stuff. But from there, you'll meet with leadership to identify the market, the business plan, schools, districts, businesses, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how we're going to work together, all that fun stuff, coordinate all that with field leadership. And then we'll get to work on that activity and business incentive plan, start making money day one. And then from there, it's all about those revenue generating activities and executing on that plan as quickly as possible so we can get money into your bank account as soon as possible, because that's really the name of the game. I think that's pretty much all the presentation I had for you guys, but I just wanted to cover these things in a really quick fashion. I hope this answered maybe a lot of questions that you have. And if you want to take the next steps, if you message me via email or text or even on social media, shoot me a message back or shoot my team a message back, and let's set up a time to talk, phone, Zoom, or whatever, and we'll take it from there. Have a great day. Thanks for your time, guys.